And the other thing we haven't talked about, you don't see a lot of Scarlet Witch. I wonder what she's going to play into it.
I think it's just going to be her and Vision off on their own.
Yeah.
She's going to play into it exactly. It's her and Vision trying to be excluded from everybody until they come and find Vision.
Yeah, because it's not just, I mean, I think it was, like you said, Proxima Midnight staff, but there's more than one of them there because I see another staff.
I feel like what's going to happen is Scarlet Witch is going to try to do something to stop them.
Yeah.
And she's just going to get hit and boom, knocked to the side. Basically, we're too powerful for you.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of our way kind of a thing. And then they take the stone from Vision. And I think I wouldn't be surprised if that's more towards the end.
Yeah.
And either the last thing we see is him get 3 of the 5. And then, or if he doesn't even get that until the next movie. Because really, this is supposed to be like a heist movie.
Yeah.
Where he's getting the gems from everybody. And I kind of think about how many of the gems, are they going to have him assemble all 5 gems at the end and then cliffhanger it? Or is it going to be, hey, I've got 3 of the 5 and then a cliffhanger?
I don't think we're going to, the only reason I don't think we're going to get all of them for like Thanos getting all of them, because so far there's been nothing that even hints on him getting the reality stone. We still don't even know where the
reality stone is the Aether, right?
The Aether, yeah, the one that's with the Collector. So apparently we see the blue, we see the purple. Excuse me. We know where Visions is at.
We think the Soul Stone's in Wakanda now.
No, now we think it's in Wakanda.
First we thought it was... Think about way back when we first started this podcast in February.
Yeah.
Which hasn't been a year since we've... Hasn't been a full year since we've done this podcast. Think about that.
Yep.
Blows my mind every time. One of the first thing we talked about was where's the Soul Stone? And we were... Hela was one of them. Oh, is it with Hela? No, it's with Heimdall. We thought that for days. Now everyone thinks it's in Wakanda.
There's still part of me that thinks it could be with Heimdall because we don't know what happened with him either.
Maybe he brought it to Wakanda.
Maybe he did.
Maybe he did. Maybe something. That is going to be the most. You know how I said that him putting it in the gauntlet was the most rewarding. Them actually revealing where the Soul Stone is going to be the most rewarding.
We've been waiting the longest for that.
And it's not like one where it's like usually when you have movies, it's like we figure it out after a while.
Yeah.
No one has been able to figure this out.
No.
No one knows where this stone is.
Let's put it this way. Every time a movie comes out, it shifts the question of where's the Soul Stone?
Remember the one where we talked about, is it with Odin behind his eye patch?
Is it with Odin behind the eye patch? Is Hela gonna get it?
Is it Heimdall?
Is it with Heimdall? Now it's like, is it in Wakanda? I guess we'll find out. We'll have to wait and find out again.
How do you think it gets to Wakanda?
Because
I don't know. If you asked me, Ricky, how did it get to Wakanda? I don't know. Heimdall brought it there. Maybe the Guardians had it and brought it there. Like they get it somehow. I have no idea how it would get. Maybe Black Panther had it and nobody knew because nobody wanted, nobody thought to check Wakanda.
That's the thing. That's what I'm wondering.
What if it's just there and it's like, oh yeah, we've had this for years.
That's what I'm wondering though. Is like, what indicates that Wakanda has a Soul Stone? Nothing so far. And
the big the whole thing right now is the big battle because why would Thanos want Wakanda?
Well, I'm talking about any time before that.
No, there's no reason.
And the other thing is, we have to wait for Black Panther, and maybe there's some indication there. My guess would be in some way it made it from, and I'm still gonna stick with my guns and say Heimdall has it. Say either Heimdall goes or he hands it off to Thor before everything happens, saying you can't let him have this. So that actually brings me to now I thought about it. That could be why, maybe Heimdall himself brings it there, and that's why Thor's, in that thing trying to
stop Thanos from getting it.
Yeah,
well, that's the whole point.
Give Heimdall some time. Basically, buy him some time. Thor's going to stay there, and, that ship gets destroyed, and then he meets up with the Guardians, and that's where all that goes. That's one of my hypotheses right there.
I want to ask you another thing.
Sure.
And this goes now we're jumping to this. And if you're on YouTube, this is kind of started part 2. I don't know how I'm going to split this up. It's obviously going to be part 1 and part 2. But Captain America.
Yes.
What's his backstory, you think, coming into this? Because the last thing we saw... Oh, shoot. What's the last movie we saw Cap in?
We saw him in Civil War.
We technically saw him in Homecoming. Technically.
Wow, yeah. with the videos
With
and
the
then
video.
the thing at the end.
Which was hilarious. How many of these are we going to do? How many post-credit scenes? What do you think is...
You guys waited here. Actually calls us out.
What do you think is going to be... Like, is Cap going to be basically... Do you think he's going to have been off the grid for some time, and that's now him coming back?
I think he's been off the grid.
Somebody get this man a shield.
Yeah, I think he's been kind of off the grid. Almost maybe doing like the Nomad thing.
You've
from the comics.
You've mentioned this before.
I have.
I think you really like it with how much you mention it.
Well, no, because it's where the storyline's going. At some point in his storyline, Cap just kind of renounces the Captain America title, kind of renounces America as being the number one thing he stands for, and being, I'm just for everyone. I'm for the people. Anyone who needs help, and we see a lot of this hinted at, blatantly said in what's the movie?
Civil War.
No. Yeah, no, you're right. Civil War.
I'm thinking that's the last one we saw Cap
It's the Sokovia Accords. He's like, no, I can't just stand by and wait for a governmental thing to say, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, now you can move in.
Yeah. No,
I need to stop it before it becomes something horrible. Which is cool, too. I really think, and we'll have to wait and see who it is, because you can't. I think it's Cap that catches that spear.
That's right. It's him that catches it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing of, is that Proxima
Midnight's, but
is
it's
that
one of them.
Proxima Midnight spear, or is that, oh shoot, someone's coming out of the shadows and like Black Panther, someone shoots a spear and
it could be Black Panther.
And he catches it, and then it's like, get that man a shield, and he steps out of the shadows.
But I think Black Panther knows like it might be Cap. Because I think that's what he's kind of doing. He's laying low in Wakanda. But I mean, maybe he goes to the surrounding cities, and because he's not going to stop the superhero thing.
I want to ask you this too: Does Bucky get unfrozen in Black Panther or Infinity War?
Cutscene in Black Panther.
You think so?
That's what I'm going to go with.
You think he get one of them? Because now there's usually two.
Yeah, one of 8.
They'll go with, hey, you know what? We've got to unfreeze him, or Cap will be there. No, I wouldn't put Cap in there because I like the reveal of him like coming out of the shadows.
Yeah.
I think that was an editing tool, by the way.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't think get that man a shield and then he steps out of the shadows. I just think they're all standing around and somebody get that man a shield kind of a thing. Like, that's when, okay, we're going to fight.
We're going off
this
to war.
Thanos invasion. I want to ask you this. This is a heavy-hitting question.
Yeah.
Who dies?
Who dies?
Who dies? Somebody's got to die, right? Like, you have a movie this I'm going to say amazing, this high up there, somebody's got to die. We know Chris Evans, his contract is basically up after 4. We know that Iron Man is up, and they don't have to die in this movie, but will there be anyone that dies in this movie? I'm
going to go with, can I do 2 of them?
Go ahead.
It's going to be
how many you want.
One of 2, Cap or Tony. We're gonna kill off one of the 2 top main guys.
I'd say Cap. I would go with Cap. The reason why is you have a replacement. You can either do one of 2 things. You can give the mantle to Falcon, or you can give the mantle to Bucky. I think they would give the mantle to Bucky because of the whole character development of what he went through in Civil War. He was frozen. They basically rebooted his system.
Yeah.
And to do the right thing kind of a thing.
There's that. And the only reason I want to go maybe also Iron Man is because he's got a relationship with everyone now, and he's gone from this self-centered prick to a guy that it doesn't always seem like it, but he would give it up for anyone.
Here's the thing, and this was the last thing I was going to throw out with that though. Who would be impacted more by the death? Iron Man if Cap died, or Cap if Iron Man died? I would think Iron Man because it was a whole, like, if Cap dies, then it's like it flashes back to Civil War with a shit. I have connections now with all these people, and you're the last memory I have of you is us fighting each other. Friends fighting each other. I think that would be more impactful on a Tony character than a Rogers.
I'm going to go opposite.
Okay.
Because we're almost could expect Cap to act like that and lay himself on the line. But the other part is, I'm trying to remember where I was going with it 100%. Tony, you don't expect it from. B, I feel like Tony's going to, only because of what his vision was in Age of Ultron. Remember, he saw all of them die.
Because of Scarlet Witch.
Because of Scarlet Witch. And it still haunts him.
Yeah.
You can tell it still haunts him. He doesn't want anyone to die because of anything. He wants to, so I think it's going to be Tony maybe sacrifices himself because it'll hit Cap because it's the same vice versa. Last memory is us fighting. It's going to hit Vision because there's still got to be Jarvis in there if Vision makes it through this because they are going to take his stone, or it looks like they're going to take his stone.
Yeah, it's so this is what I'm getting.
Okay.
If Cap dies, it's more emotional if it's one person. Well, everyone will be sad, but it's really Tony.
And Bucky.
Whereas if Tony dies, more people get that same feeling because he has. I get what you're saying because he has
Cap,
so many
Spider-Man.
more connections.
Yeah, exactly. Tony has so many. There's probably going to be something between him and Doctor Strange at this point because they're definitely with him and Bruce. You're going to have whatever you're maybe even going to get a clip of the distraughtness if Pepper finds out. He's got so many more connections to all these people. Yeah, now that they're married.
Spoiler for Spider-Man.
Yeah, right. But I mean, I feel like there's so many more connections for Cap and him, or I'm sorry, Tony and everyone, than Cap and everyone in some ways, just because
it's got to be one of the two.
I think it's one of the two
because their contracts. Well, I don't want to say because your contracts are up, but because their contracts are up.
But I mean, it also helps to follow the storyline. If Cap dies, you have that replacement thing of one of two.
Yeah.
But if Tony dies, there's a ton of connections and there's a ton of emotional ties. There's also a huge emotional tie to all of us.
Well,
because we've had him since 2008.
And that's what I was going to just say is what if it's Tony? Because it's for us as the viewer, that started it all. Iron Man started it all.
Yes.
I want to say Iron Man was that June of 2008?
I think so.
I'm going to look it up really quick.
Yeah, go for
it. Because I'm trying to think of how old I think I was either in high school. Yeah, it was May of 2008. So when this whole thing started, I was just graduating.
Same.
Or about to graduate high school.
Yeah, depending on the day, we either had just...
It was May 2nd.
May 2nd.
May 2nd, 2008.
I was about to graduate in a week or two.
Yeah, we were done with finals. It was basically... Because I remember the night scene. I remember not everything, but I remember the theater I was at. I remember what section of the theater we were in, and I remember the feeling I had standing up from that movie, looking over at my friends, looking over at Dave, going, we're going to get this is going to lead to Avengers. Because he said, the Avengers Initiative. Holy shit.
Yeah.
This is going to lead somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
And not just be a one-off movie.
And look at how far we've gone. But I mean, it's
18 movies.
Yeah, I mean, but
I've seen every one.
But look how many he's been in. Look how many connections he has, and look how much of a connection he probably has to all of us as viewers. Because he's the one Tony Stark is the one that started it all off. And if he's the one that ends it in a sense, that's going to be a huge impact. Because we've had him since 2008. It's when this movie is going to be 11 years?
I think it.
When the final one comes out?
Actually, I think it might be almost 10 years to the day.
Well, this one will be 10 years to the day.
That's what I'm saying.
Almost.
Holy crap.
Huh.
May 4th.
Yeah.
Almost the exact. Yeah. You know they planned that, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
You know they planned that.
Almost every Avengers movie comes out in May.
No, I know, but they planned it to say, hey, you know what, this all started May 2nd. Let's have it that same weekend.
Yeah.
Let's have it that same weekend, that same Friday. We'll probably see it May 3rd. So it will almost be 10 years ago.
10 years to date.
10 years ago, I was just watching Iron Man 1.
Exactly.
Holy shit.
A whole decade. We've had a whole decade now.
Of
when
Marvel
this movie
movies.
comes out, it'll be a full decade.
Of Marvel movies.
Exactly.
And here's one thing I want to bring up. This is not related to the trailer. This is just a side conversation because we just brought up.
Yeah.
Think about this, and you guys sitting at home, either watching or listening, think about this in your head as well. How many people have we had throughout this entire 10-year run? Have you heard someone go, well, the superhero movie has to die sooner or later.
Exactly.
Eventually, the trend's going to die. 10 years now have gone past, and we're going strong. We're even thinking about Phase 4.
Yeah.
We're even thinking about Phase 4.
Phase 4 is just going to change it up a bit and how the phases go. That's it. We're not like, oh, we're scrapping it and we're going to let it die. No, Phase 4 is like, well, we're just going to change up some stuff a bit.
Let me put it this way. These last 10 years, you know what they have showed me? One, superheroes are no longer for the nerd who's going to read comics in his mom's basement.
Exactly.
Superheroes, and I would say even comic book movies in general now, are becoming more mainstream, getting more kids into it early because they fall in love with these characters from an earlier age.
Exactly.
And number two, it just shows, and I look at Marvel, not just having the plan, but when you give people the time to do things, what can happen? Because I actually read this past week. Apparently, Kevin Feige and Marvel wanted to do the Captain Marvel movie before, like, way before DC ever did Wonder Woman.
Really?
But the executives at Marvel Entertainment said, no, we're not going to do that. We can't sell a female hero in a solo film. Then Wonder Woman happened, and they all looked and said, this is what I told you. This is what we could have done. They beat us to the punch. And then basically from like that point on and ever since, you've noticed it's like, okay, Kevin, you do you. Hands off.
Whatever you want to do, we'll do.
In Kevin Feige, they trust.
Exactly.
I say that about Jeff Johns all the time, but if he's given the freedom, maybe I could trust him a little bit more. Any final thoughts about this trailer? Anything we did not hit? I know the Guardians we didn't hit because we've seen, interesting, they show them at the end.
Yes.
However, from the leaked D23, the expo in Anaheim earlier this year, there was a lot more battle scenes. Like, there were scenes in that we didn't see in this. Doctor Strange creating the footsteps for Chris Pratt, who Star-Lord.
Yes.
Blanked my name for a second. But we didn't. There are stuff that we didn't see. Obviously, they're probably saving that for either the movie or
another
a future trailer.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think about the Guardians? I know they weren't really in it.
Yeah,
that
we
much.
didn't really get much. We just got basically what we saw. What was it? At the end of Thor, was it?
Who are you guys?
Who the hell are you guys? No, it wasn't the end of Thor. We saw it with someone.
At the end of the trailer.
Was it the end of the trailer?
The end of this trailer. It cuts and it goes.
No, I'm saying, didn't we see it once before too? Like, it's basically the same thing we've seen before, I feel like.
No, what we saw before was in the leaked footage. Thor hit the windshield.
Yeah, and then he wakes up and says, who the hell are you guys?
No, not that. He wakes up and Rocket goes, the wipers! Hit the wipers!
No, and then I think we have, in that same leaked one, I feel like we've seen it, is he does wake up, at least stare at them.
Yeah, he stares at them. I don't think he says, who the hell are you guys?
But basically we've seen the same thing then.
Yeah.
We didn't get much with the Guardians yet, other than what we got in some of the other leaked one where, again, Doctor Strange is throwing out the footsteps for Pratt. And, I mean, I'm curious to see how more so they're going to play into it. I wonder if they're going to go try and get and protect, so they can protect the Reality Stone, maybe?
Maybe they go and try to, shoot the Power Stone, and that's how they find out Thanos has the Power Stone.
Yeah. It could,
because the only
true.
one with connection to the Power Stone and the Nova Corps is the Guardians.
Exactly.
They're the only ones.
And, well, that's why I brought up the Reality Stone. The only one that has that is Thor. Because Asgardians brought it to the Collector to hold on to.
But does he it's like he doesn't have it. You know what I'm saying?
The Collector does?
No, I'm talking Thor.
No.
Like, Thor doesn't have it, and it's the Collector. I wonder if Thor...
But Thor has that connection, just like Guardians to the Nova Corps.
See, what the Collector, I think it's going to be more interesting. How do they bring the Grand Master into it? Because I don't think he's dead.
No, he's not. I don't know if they're... I wonder if they're going to right now.
I don't think they killed him at the end of Thor Ragnarok.
That might be more of a Phase 4 type thing to get into than in this movie.
What, the Grandmaster?
Yeah.
No, I'm saying in one of these two movies, because you have the connection between Grandmaster and Collector as brothers.
Yeah.
I think they're going to reunite in one of these two movies.
Maybe, but I think that would be more so of a Phase 4 thing, because I think right now this is more focused on A, getting the stones, and B, defeating Thanos.
No, that's what I'm saying. Hear me out here.
Okay.
What I'm saying is, A, the Grandmaster is all about saving himself.
Yes.
A, he likes to play a game. He comes and sees his brother. Oh, you have this. That's what they're looking for. And he tries to play Puppet Master.
Maybe.
With one of them as the stone. Because I feel like the last stone he's going to get is the Soul Stone. Because if you've noticed, small, huge fucking gem.
Yeah, and then there's
this
also...
Soul Stone is going to be huge.
There's also one in the thumb, so yeah.
Is there? So there's 6?
There's supposed to be 6. That's why we have 6 Infinity Stones.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. So all the ones that we've seen so far will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
And then that 6th one I feel like the Soul Stone's going to be the biggest.
Maybe.
Because we have yet to see the Soul Stone, and every other stone has been tiny.
Yeah, that's true, because we've seen the
Mind Stone is tiny. We see the 2 power in time.
Like we saw before that it was tiny.
Space.
Like, we didn't know at first until today or until this week that power the Space Stone is tiny as well. The ether, who knows? Actually, maybe that could be the one that fills it in too, because the ether's fluid right now. Maybe when it comes in contact with that thing, it becomes just the big stone.
Let me see if there's a picture. I'm looking comics now.
Yeah.
From the Infinity Gauntlet comic book page, how it looks is the small stones are red, which is the ether, purple, which is the power, blue, which is the space, and then there's 2 that kind of look white and yellowish with the yellow. Maybe it's the Mind Stone that's the big one.
Maybe.
Because that one looks the most yellow out of them. I'm just trying to see now there's a different one that has a green stone, which would be the Time Stone in the middle. Maybe that one was just weird coloring. But it looks like for most of them, the yellow one is in the middle. Maybe it's the Soul. Maybe it's the Time Stone. Maybe it's the Mind Stone.
No, we don't. Well, we don't know because it doesn't look like it's matching up with
what they're doing
with everything else. So I mean, it does. Well, I mean, I'm just trying to say it this way. It doesn't look like the comic 100% matches the Infinity Stones, because the Infinity Stones were also different colors, if I remember correctly. So, well, I mean, same color set, different switch around of color schemes.
This is where I want you guys to come in, though. We went long on this. This will be, if you're on YouTube, you're currently watching part 2. We split this up into 2 parts on YouTube. If you were on Blog Talk Radio, iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, you've been listening to it the whole time. But let us know what you guys think down below in the description. What do you think about Infinity War? What are you thinking heading into this movie? Let us know what you guys think down below in the comment section.